Hey folks, it's Trina here, executive and leadership coach for mission-driven women leaders. And I work with women in leadership who are feeling depleted and exhausted, who are looking for strategies and ways to work and lead in a way that's sustainable long-term. So if that sounds like you are in the right place, and I am so glad you're here. And if this is something that you've been struggling with and you've been feeling depleted and exhausted and you've been stuck in that leadership depletion cycle and you need some support, I encourage you to get the free the free sustainable leadership guide, which you can find below this video. So it's all about the 5 mistakes that mission-driven leaders make that lead to burnout and how to prevent them. So if you want to get your hands on that and want to know more about how we can potentially work together and how I can support you, I encourage you to start with the free sustainable leadership guide. Okay. So again, and that link is below this video. So today we're talking about how that leadership is personal. And when you are depleted and exhausted, it is a personal thing and it impacts how you lead. So I don't know why people think this or when this started, and I think this is just in the world of work in general, but this idea that you turn who you are off when you go to work, that whatever you have going on in your mind, at home, whatever it is, that you're able to disconnect from it and just be a professional. It doesn't matter, all these things, that you're just going to show up and be objective and be able to do your job effectively. And none of those things that you have going on are going to impact how you lead. And nothing could be further from the truth. How you lead is totally personal. How you allow people to interact with you, communicate with you, how you communicate with others, how you lead your team, it's all personal. And so while you have the skills and talent and ability to be able to lead and do all those sorts of things, it's all impacted by who you are personally and what you're experiencing personally. And you likely work in a culture where a work culture is often set around certain people's personal choices and the way people feel personally about certain things. So if there are certain rules or protocols in place at your job, some of it may be objective, but a lot of it may be someone's personal preferences for how you get things done. So for example, how people on teams report to leaders, report to bosses. Even those structures could be very personal according to maybe the CEO and how they prefer to have things done. We think that all these things are objective, and a lot of them are not. A lot of them are very personal. And so this is important to know. So when you're dealing with leadership depletion and exhaustion, those things become personal as well. So how you end up communicating with your team, you might start to show up or get snappy with people. Or another thing that often happens with leaders is you find yourself doing things or saying things that you wouldn't under normal circumstances because you're feeling depleted and exhausted. So this is one of those times or you might find yourself doing things to protect yourself, because maybe you're dealing with a lot of microaggressions or things like that. So this is why it's important to lead in a way that's sustainable, so that, the challenges that come up don't prevent you from being an effective, respected leader. And so when you're dealing with depletion and exhaustion, it's important to get the support that you need so that it doesn't continue to overflow in how you either lead your team or work with colleagues or manage up or whatever it is. Because I have seen it time and time again. I certainly have experienced it where, the borderline burnout or exhaustion or whatever it is impacts so many areas, but because you become so used to it, you think that's how it's supposed to be, and it's not. So if you are stuck in this leadership depletion, energy drain cycle, and you want to get out of it, it's important to know that there absolutely is a way. Get support. that you get the support that you need. And just remember that leadership is personal. And certainly you have objective skills, knowledge, and ability, but the way you do it becomes very personal. And particularly when you're going through challenges, the way you do it becomes personal. And so if you want to continue being an effective, respected leader, get the support that you need so that you can work in a way that's sustainable for you long term. And if there's something that you know you want help with, or where you're feeling stuck and you need more support, I encourage you to download the free Sustainable Leadership Guide. As I said, the link is below this video, so feel free to check that out. And I'd love to talk to you and connect with you a little bit more. This is something that you know you need help with. But like I said, start with the guide. There's all kinds of great information there that will walk you through some of this that we talked about today and lead you to your next step. Okay, so that's all for today. Take good care, and I'll talk to you soon.